Imagine waking up one morning to find that every dollar in your wallet, the money you worked for, has lost its real value overnight. What if I told you that paper money, something we trust blindly, was never just a tool for trade, but a weapon designed to control ordinary citizens? This is not a conspiracy theory from the internet. This is history, and the shocking part. The system that started centuries ago still affects us today. To understand how paper money became a weapon, we need to step back to the late 17th and early 18th centuries. Coins, made of gold, silver, and copper, had been humanity's primary form of money for centuries. These coins weren't just a medium of exchange. They were real value you could hold and trust. But coins were heavy and scarce, which created the first cracks in the system. A man named Johann Palmstrock in Sweden, in 1661, issued the world's first modern banknotes. People were promised that these notes were backed by gold stored safely in vaults. Sounds revolutionary, right? But in reality, these notes were the first step in creating money that governments could manipulate and citizens could not control. Stay tuned to find out what happened next. Ever wonder why the paper in your wallet has value? The story isn't as simple as you think. It's a tale of power, broken promises, and the weaponization of money. Let's dive in. Early banknotes were just IOUs, a promise that you could swap that piece of paper for real gold or silver coins at the bank. You trusted the bank to honor its promise. But what happens when a bank prints more promises than it has gold? Chaos. In the 1660s, a Swedish bank run by a man named Palmstrock did exactly that. Prices soared, people panicked, and the value of ordinary citizens' money completely collapsed. This wasn't an accident. Governments quickly realized that issuing paper money gave them a power coins never could, the power to create wealth out of thin air. Now, let's fast forward to 18th century France. The monarchy was drowning in debt from wars and extravagance. Their solution? A new paper currency called the assignat, supposedly backed by confiscated church lands. The goal was to solve the debt crisis, but the reality was pure chaos. Assignats were printed in massive quantities, far beyond the value of the land backing them. Prices for everyday goods skyrocketed. Ordinary people saw their life savings wiped out, and riots erupted in the streets. Workers who could once easily feed their families suddenly couldn't even afford a loaf of bread. A pattern was emerging. Whenever rulers or banks needed to solve their own debt crises, they turned to printing paper money. And every single time, it was the average citizen who bore the brunt of the pain, while the insiders often profited. The ultimate breaking point always comes when the amount of paper money completely outstrips reality. Sweden's currency collapsed in the 1660s. France's assignats became worthless by the 1790s. And in America, the continental dollar printed to fund the Revolutionary War became so devalued, it gave rise to the phrase, "not worth a continental." In each case, ordinary citizens who trusted the paper in their pockets were left bankrupt and powerless. Merchants refused to accept it. Soldiers went unpaid, and civil unrest spread like wildfire. The weaponization was clear. Governments could print their way out of debt. But only the citizens suffered the consequences of the resulting inflation. And here's the most shocking part. The powerful often had early access to these new notes or the assets backing them. Ensuring their own wealth grew, while the masses lost everything. History shows us that the story of paper money is also the story of power. Thanks for watching, and if you found this interesting, make sure to subscribe for more deep dives into the hidden side of history. After every major financial collapse, reformers stepped in, trying to patch up the system. Gold standards were introduced, central banks were created, governments made grand promises of stability and security, but every single time a new crisis hit, the same old story played out. Think about the devastating hyperinflation in Weimar Germany or Zimbabwe in the 2000s. The pattern was always the same. The money held by ordinary citizens became worthless, while well-connected insiders found ways to profit from the chaos. These fixes never got to the heart of the matter. They never addressed the root problem. The power to create money out of thin air, concentrated in the hands of a select few. Paper money was never a neutral, fair system. It was always a tool, and often it was used as a weapon. Now, let's fast forward and connect this history to what's happening today. It's more relevant than you might think. Modern central banks like the Federal Reserve can digitally create trillions of dollars with a few keystrokes. Does inflation, quantitative easing, or bank bailouts sound familiar? These are just the modern terms for the same patterns we've seen for centuries. What does this mean for you and me? Ordinary people usually just see rising prices for groceries and gas, while their wages can't keep up. But institutions with early access to this new money, big banks, hedge funds, government contractors, they profit massively. Consider this staggering fact. Between 2008 and 2022, the Federal Reserve's balance sheet exploded from about $900 billion to over $9 trillion. Where did most of that money go? It flowed first to Wall Street, not to Main Street. The weaponization of money isn't just a fascinating relic of history, it is happening right now, all around us. So what are the key takeaways from all this? First, and most importantly, money is a tool, not a guarantee. Paper currency can be, and has been, manipulated throughout history. Second, the powerful almost always profit first. The historical record is crystal clear. Insiders benefit from new money creation long before the general public feels any positive effects, if they ever do. And third, remember that inflation is the silent weapon. The slow, steady erosion of your purchasing power is a subtle but incredibly effective way to control populations and transfer wealth. History offers us these crucial lessons, and it's up to us to understand them to navigate the world we live in today. Thanks for watching, and if you found this valuable, don't forget to like and subscribe for more insights.